What's going on, guys? A beautiful end to a Tuesday. Just wanted to introduce you guys to this STi that we picked up that we're putting a motor in, getting it all fixed up, getting it ready to resell. Hopefully it'll be somebody's nice built daily that they'll have some reliable power out of. So it's a 04 STi. Funny story about this thing, when we picked it up, it was on jack stands. It had no wheels, or it had too big of wheels?
No wheels.
No wheels.
Sitting on jack stands.
Sitting on jack stands.
Regular car jack.
And the suspension?
Yep, no.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all.
It had Brembo's though.
Oh, yeah.
In the breeze, but nothing connecting anything else.
Gotcha. So we actually had to drive out to get this thing and put wheels and coilovers on it so that we could get it up on a trailer. So right now it's got no motor in it. Got a motor over there on a stand. Picked up an IAG Stage 2 Tough for it. And right now we're in the process of swapping all the necessities from the old motor onto the IAG, and Justin's in here right now cleaning some important pieces of this puzzle. What do you got going on?
I'm playing Molly Maid over here.
Yeah.
So besides normal stuff like oil pans and cleaning off gasket materials, people don't really think these cam phasers, AVCS cam gears, whatever you want to call them, obviously they use oil pressure to do what they need to do. So when you get a car that blows up or locks up or starves on oil pressure or starvation and gets a bunch of bits going through the oil, the little shavings get stuck inside here, they get stuck inside the oil cooler, they get stuck inside so many places that think you get a nice machined block all clean, and then you bolt on all this junk on top of it, and all of a sudden you got contaminated oil galleys and everything all over again, and then you blow up your brand new engine, and then you need a third rebuild.
Yeah. Did you mention the oil cooler too?
We're already on the second rebuild, yeah.
Yeah, the oil cooler is where it also...
Oh no, we got a brand new one for this one.
Yeah, because they're almost impossible to clean.
Yeah, that one's really tough. These, at least you can take them apart, separate them, change the O-rings.
And that's a step that a lot of people don't do.
Well, normally I would say, it's probably safer to just throw new ones in there if you're really worried about it, but since we're already so much over budget on this build due to tons of unforeseen issues.
Oh yes, there is a story that goes along with this motor sitting on this stand right here. So we'll let you guys in on that.
That's a story for another day.
We don't want to ruin the mood today.
Yeah.
This is I'll give him some PTSD.
I've just gotten over that. It's been like a month now, and I'm getting over it, so I don't want to rehash it. Scarred for life. But at least this will ensure that we have a nice, healthy, rebuilt engine. No worries about oil contamination or anything like that. Everything will work as it's supposed to. Engine's happy, turbo's happy, oil pressure's happy. Car leaves, Justin is happy.
And we'll have a killer bee pickup in there for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's the game plan for today. You're cleaning out the cam phasers.
Doing all the legwork, that way I can just start assembly and non-stop.
Yep. Hopefully going to have this built by tomorrow. And then hopefully either over the weekend or next week it'll be going in the car, and one step down, ready to go.
One car down, 4 to go.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Back working on the IAG block for the 04 STi here. Ran into a small snag when we were putting the water pump on.
Yeah, going to do oil pump and water pump and dress the whole front cover. Notice that this bolt came out a little easy.
You guys can see that. Yeah.
And it might be tough. Luckily, we did the good news in this whole situation is it's not a blind hole that deads into the block. At least it is a straight through hole, the one that they decided to over torque like a gorilla. So we can drill it out, tap it, or put a helicoil in it. This one over here has lost like half the threads, but we can catch some in there. Somebody just decided to say, torque specs are not important, let's just crank it.
Yeah.
And right now, Subaru oil pumps, I've already Loctited all the bolts so they don't rattle loose and blow up. Now I'm just pouring some oil in there so I can prime the pump and put it on.
That's another little hidden trick in Subaru engine building.
Yeah, so this is the upgraded 11mm pump, so it's a bigger and it'll flow a little bit more, but it still has a slight issue of some vibration wanting to free up the bolts. And then you always definitely want to prime your oil pump, because the last thing you want to do is start an engine this is a brand new engine, so it's literally just assembly lube.
Is it a brand new engine though?
Well, okay, no, technically it is. This has never been run yet. It's been taken apart twice, but never actually been run yet.
Yeah, there's still a little hidden story behind this.
But basically I'm just pouring oil in here, and I turn it by hand until it starts to come out here. And then I know all the gear and all the packing and everything inside is filled up with oil.
Using some nice Motul.
And it's also nice to assemble this upside down because then it won't want to drip out. It's another little trick.
That's how gravity works?
That is how gravity works. It sucks. All right. We're lubed up, ready to go, so I'm going to slap this on, then we'll drill out that, put that on, continue dressing the front cover, and hopefully that's the last of the hiccups on this engine. But the way it's been going, it just kind of the hits just keep on coming, so I'm just waiting for the next one at this point.
Alright, so we got a little update on the engine build here. What do you got going on?
So we had one bolt that was completely stripped out.
Yeah, we showed you that one.
So we got the helicoil in there. There was another one that we lost like half the threads, and I tried to catch a bolt, and I didn't like the way it felt, so.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, I figured now is the time to be doing this, so put that one in. Went ahead and just kind of kept on going, and I was cleaning the thermostat housing, and then somebody decided to take a nice pick to that one and completely gouge it up. So, you know, that one, I didn't really want to grind it down and try to make it work. I didn't want to have a coolant leak, so I decided to, you know, look for a spare. And I don't know, maybe somewhere in this pile of I don't know how many cars.
Nah, we're in the wrong.
shelf.
We're in the wrong shop for
Yeah,
this. There's no extra Subaru
We
parts
might
here.
have a couple of spare parts lying around, so I figured, you know, why the hell not?
Even like that one, you know, right over there.
But, you know, I don't even know why I wasted money on a helicoil kit, because I could have just taken the threads right off the bolt.
Oh my gosh, they came off.
Maybe I could have just used those and, you know, stabbed them right back in there and sent it. No? That
It's
doesn't
always
work?
satisfying when that happens.
Yeah.
It's sad when it strips out, but when you can just
Curls right off?
when you can
Yeah.
just twist them right off of
Yep.
the bolt, that's always
Oh my
fun.
god, I got my own little aluminum slinky. Okay, great.
Oh, so a little side note while I'm thinking about this. You guys haven't seen this. You might think this is kind of interesting. Inside the car here.
Sneak peek.
Yeah, little sneak peek.
What's
going on? So, I don't know. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think of this headliner. That's kind of growing on us. But this, these A-pillars and other accents, this like 70s or 80s pleather is not really doing it. That's definitely going to get changed, but we're thinking about keeping the headliner. So let us know in the comment section. Hey, Justin, what do you, what is that I see?
Just putting some silicone on the oil pan before I throw it on.
Yeah, but something doesn't look right.
What?
Does that say Nissan on it?
It might say Nissan on it.
Why are we disgracing this Subaru with a Nissan product?
Well, you know, we're just trying to use high quality sealants regardless. So whether it's Nismo Bond, Super Bond, if you're working on bikes, Yama Bond, everybody's got their own name brand, but it's really just at this point all about the quality that we're going to use on there. And this is actually a really good sealant that we can get right at a dealership if you need to, or right over the parts store. But I figure if it's good enough for a GTR, probably good enough for an STi.
Yeah, that's cool. All kidding aside, this is actually a really good sealant because I've used this on numerous engine builds. I know that we started using it more recently, but this stuff is really great quality.
You can see the remnants of the red RTV.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that we use on like exhaust manifolds and like cheap donut gaskets for doing just regular repair work.
Yeah. Normally you can tell if you got a pretty good quality sealant. If it doesn't smell like salt and vinegar chips, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's normally a pretty good quality sealant. This stuff works really well.
So you don't want it to smell tasty.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
And you shouldn't eat it whether it smells tasty or not.
No, definitely not. Speaking of something that smells interesting, this Loctite. Okay, all right. So I've noticed this. This Loctite smells legitimately like bubble gum. That's what it smells like. I don't remember what the red one smells like. I don't know if they do that on purpose, but this smells legitimately like bubble gum. Not that I'm the kid that would eat the glue in art class as a kid, but...
On another episode of things that smell good that you shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
Maybe this can explain a few things.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so welcome back to the conclusion of today's labor. We got most of the block stripped, got the intake manifold off. I didn't really need to take any rollers or anything from the timing. Starting to dress the new block. You got all the fun goodies underneath that you can't see anymore, but we got some pictures of all the baffle and windage trays and some Killer Bee goodies. We have tried twice now to replace or rebuild the cam sprockets, and we're still having problems with getting them apart due to very unique tooling. We'll leave it at that for right now. So got some goodies to go on. I've obviously got to reuse a manifold. This is a tiny little 16G that we're not going to put back on. We're going to go a little bit bigger, but more on that later. So all in all, I mean, obviously every day we want to get more done, but it's another productive day, and I think it's a pretty decent conclusion for where we're at right now. At least it's in progress again.
It's a step in the right direction.
It's not just getting pushed in and out of the garage every day. Well, I mean, it still is, but it'll soon have an engine.
Yeah.
Speaking of being pushed, what's no longer being pushed is this Fiero that we've been kind of barn find restoring for a customer, at least getting it up and running. And we had I don't know if you saw on the camera today, and if you can see in the time lapse, this might go kind of fast, but I definitely had to do a quick run and jump and grab something for you, Dom. What was going on over here today?
Well, so I was just trying to get this thing to move under its own power. I was messing around with the clutch, having some issues with that. The slave cylinder was completely frozen. And so I guess the moral of the story is going to be, whenever you have an old car that has...
Oh, wait, hold on. That's right. Engine's in the rear. Sorry, yeah, my bad. Yeah, yeah, we're talking about a 80s Fiero. My bad. Continue.
If you have a car that's sat outside for a while and hasn't run in quite a decent amount of time, definitely want to make sure there's no mouse nest and or leaves, etc.
Yeah, barn find means whatever lives in the barn.
So like,
keep that in mind.
I took a lot of it out. I blew what I thought was all of it out of there, but down on the backside by the firewall, we had a little bit of foliage back there.
Well, I mean, they call it a firewall,
yeah,
so I mean,
yeah.
it did its job.
Thankfully, I had this thing running for a little while, and we had a small fire back there.
Just a little like
Never had a car go up. In all my years of doing this, I've never had a car go up, but that was scary.
We got pretty lucky too, because we actually fired it up yesterday for the first time when we put the computer in, and it actually ran for the first time. And it was outside for a minute, and this could have happened not under the watchful eye, and then...
Yeah, because I put the computer in it outside, started it, was happy that it ran.
And then one less Fiero on the road. Is that a good or a bad thing, though? You decide.
So, we're lucky it just didn't happen, and the car went up in flames as soon as I walked away from it.
But I mean, all in all, besides some obvious clear coat, it's actually a pretty clean car underneath. It runs halfway decent. Obviously, we haven't had it running for long, but it's definitely a cleaner barn find than I've seen some before, and a much cleaner Fiero in general than I've seen in a long time. Not that I've seen a Fiero in a long time, but
so
it's an eclectic cult classic.
So we'll keep you guys up to speed or in the loop. You know, if we get any interesting cars in here. You know, we're trying to do this stuff and take you guys along, you know, on the journey for the fun projects, like, you know, the STi and things like that. And there's more to come in the future.
I mean, at the end of the day, it still is a shop that we kind of have to pay bills. So
we gotta pay the bills, you know. And
at least it's not like a brake job on a Toyota Camry. Like we're getting a midship engine cult classic '80s car running again, which is things could be a lot worse.
I can say we've had some interesting cars in here that would be, you know, worth taking a video of.
So, yeah, so stay tuned for more on this. Hopefully not more flames. It comes to life. And then hopefully that comes to life soon as we finish up some engine builds. So we'll catch you on the next episode with more engine building, hopefully some goodies going on, and then soon after that, stuffing it in place.
Sounds good. See you guys in the next one.